What's up, everybody? It's Omar from the Bullish Bears team. It is July 15th, 6:46 p.m. and I'm back from vacation. I've been gone over the last 9 days. I went to Europe, man. Amazing. I went to Amsterdam, went to Paris, I went to London. I loved all three cities. They were beautiful, so much culture. The people were amazing. I love London particularly. I know out here, you watch the news and they have you thinking that it's some chaos going on in London. And let me tell you something, man. Muslim, English, Irish, white, black, Indian, they all get along over there. The people there were so freaking nice. I had such an amazing time. London's is a city I may even think about moving and living in. I said I gotta live in two places at least for a year: Barcelona and London. I loved both cities. They were amazing, man. I had such a great time. It was just good not to look at stocks and just to get away from everything. Right before I left, I was starting to struggle a little bit with my trading, and then in one trade I basically made back all my losses. I took a swing trade on Rite Aid. I pretty much made everything back. But I did decide to shut down my Centerpoint account just because it was just very difficult to trade from work, and have the setup. I couldn't use the setup like I normally use. So what I wanted to do was probably open a smaller account. I think I'm gonna go with IB. I still I'm gonna use Thinkorswim, still trade with them as well, but I'll probably use IB, give it a shot. And we'll see where it goes from there. So what I want to do is build my watch list for Monday. I know Lucian's been building the watch list over the past couple of days, and he just went over to IB2, and he's liking it so far. So, and he's doing good. He's doing great. So now you'll get multiple watch lists, which is fantastic, different perspectives. So let's build our watch list. All right? I haven't been looking at anything. Last summer was insane. The amount of trading that was going on, the amount of volume that was going on was ridiculous. It wasn't a normal summer from my understanding. Last summer was my first summer of trading, and from my understanding, this summer has been more typical, where you get less volume. The stocks move really like in the first hour, and then it's kind of like dead the rest of the day. Here's my watch list, my scan. I do 20. I have it set for 20 between 20 cents and $90. I'm gonna start looking at bigger range stocks. Even if what the good thing about trading a stock that's like, let's say $60, $70, is that if you can afford to buy 100 shares, and let's say the stock moves against you $1, guess what? You only lose $100. But if it goes, because it goes that move happens fast, but not fast enough where you just get wiped out fast. The great thing about stocks in the $30 range and up is that they move in multiple points. So I'm gonna start being more open-minded, not just looking at the small penny stocks, but look at all stocks. So when I hit scan, I get 62 actual charts. So we're gonna look at some of these here. They should be listed here, hopefully. And let's see, I see AAOY there. We'll see if it comes out, but I don't see. Let's see. Just want to make sure that this thing is functioning correctly. See, I see AAOY here, but we'll look at it anyway. We'll take a look. I'll make sure that this is refreshing and everything. So let me just, what I'll do this just to make sure. Let me just pick a day here. Let me come back and then pull it up. Here we go. Nightly scan, big movers. All right, so hopefully this will rectify that. So we go to charts. I have my 2-day 1-minute chart here. I have my 5-day 5-minute chart here, and we'll start. So it looks like the biggest percentage winner was RLOG, which had this monster move from 22 cents all the way to 60 cents, which is insane. If you look at the stock over the last year, this stock has had a history of spiking. If you notice, back when was this? Back in November 10th of 2016, this stock went from 70 cents all the way to a high of 295. So it does have a history of spiking, and when that spike initially started, look at that first green day, it went from 70 cents to a high of 80, and the next day it kind of consolidated and kept going higher and higher and higher, and then it had this crazy breakout and then collapsed. So you know, it's gonna be on the watch list because let me pull up the 2-day 1-minute chart, because you know it had its move, you know, it gapped up and it's coming back down. Now what you want to do, guys, I'm gonna give you this is something that you can do when you're looking at a stock like this and the stock gaps up. You know, sometimes it moves for multiple days. What you can do is you can say, okay, what's the clear support level? Now the clear support level seems to be 38 cents. So what you could do is you can, you know, as you build your watch list, you can put your trend line there, right, to say, okay, well, I put 37 here. Let's remove, let's fix that. We can say, you know, 38 cents, right? Yeah, let's do right here, 38 cents. Okay, so what you can do is you can see if the market opens and see, let's say it doesn't gap up when the market opens, it pulls back. You can look to see for that bounce over the 38 cents level. And what happens is sometimes a lot of stock traders will see that and they're waiting for that pullback to the 38 cents level, and then they buy the bounce, and you can, you know, take a sizable position looking for that next resistance point of 42 cents, you know. And if it could break 42, then you look at 44, then you look at 45, and then you know, you just keep looking to see how high it can go. All right, so oh, I forgot to do that. Let's do create watch list 1677 1717. Oh, look, all odd numbers. So we'll put RLOG on the watch list. Next up, CGI. CGI is, you know, this is like, you know, it's hard to trade this. Not for, in terms of a momentum play, you know, you're not really looking at this because of the, you know, it's too choppy. But you know, it may be a swing. This stock was $2.30 a couple of days ago. Now it's $3.35. You know, what you want to do is look at the fundamentals, see, you know, what if the analysts sort of rate the stock. So, you know, somebody's long on it. All right. So, you know, you can kind of see what the fundamentals are. If you look at, this is the quarterly, these are the share earnings, these are profitability. You know, you can see if it's the stock is profitable, does it have any revenue, you know, does it have any cash, you know, all that kind of stuff. You can get a sense of whether or not, you know, the fundamentals are strong enough that you want to take a swing trade on it. And always make sure to look at, you know, the yearly, just to see, you know, look at where the stock is now. You know, if the stock, right, so it's right here at that 335, there is no resistance. If you look at the stock here right now, if it gets past this resistance level of what's the high, says it's 338. If it can break 338, you know, then, you know, there's nothing stopping this stock from going all the way up to fill the gap, which is 378. So, you know, what I would be looking to see is that the market open says, if it starts tapping 338 and doesn't break it, I'd be looking to short it. If it breaks 338 and you see that it's holding its highs, you know, I'd be looking to buy, at least looking for the gap fill of that 379. All right, so yeah, I'll put on the watch list because of that. You know, that's why sometimes you gotta look at charts. So, you know, part of this game is really looking at charts and studying, guys. You know, and remember, you know, I'm putting a bunch of stocks on my watch list. Doesn't mean I'm looking to trade them all. You know, I'll figure out, like, you know, which one makes the most sense to me. You know, and then I'll pick one or two to look at the market open. Or sometimes I just find something popping on a scan or pre-market before the market opens, and I look at a completely different stock. Next up, FALC. Nope, this is garbage. I'm not looking to trade this because it's choppy. It's not a lot of, you know, there was volume here, but, you know, look at this. This is nonsense. I'm not looking at this. RKDA. RKDA had this nice move at the open. You know, had this ascending triangle breakout here. If you look at it, you see it's this high. Here's the higher lows. It's grabbing up, and then here's the pop, you know. And it had this crazy rip all the way up to 67 cents. And then look, it formed this lower high right here, and you could have took it short down, you know. IB is pretty good for shorting stocks that are under $1. I was surprised with Centerpoint, man. I had Centerpoint through Vision. Now, you know, you could find shares to short of a lot of these stocks, but you got to pay a high fee for them, you know. You know, and they weren't always available, you know. So, you know, they weren't easy to borrow, never. So that kind of sucked. But, you know, this thing gapped out. Now, what you could do is you could say, oh, this thing had some range. It went from 40 to 67 cents. So, again, you know, look at the yearly, see where it's done over the last year, right? So, you know, we'll go and look at the last year. and we'll see. Look, this stock was $2.51. It's come all the way down to this, had this first green day. It's almost giving back all its gains. I mean, it could pop again. You could look at the news to see if it had some earnings. There was nothing. There was no real catalyst, at least according to Thinkorswim. Maybe there was, but there's nothing on Thinkorswim. So I'm not gonna put on my watch list. I'm gonna keep going. EIGR opened at 819. This thing moved all the way up to 1025 before it found its high of day. Came kind of crashing down. Over the 5 days, it was $7 2 days ago. The day before that, and it just been running ever since. It had this little wash here. It came back down to 933. So what you can do is, you can see, this is a stock that normally trades in the $7 range. It's holding its support now at this 922 range. You see, this is where it kind of gapped up, pulled back. So I would be looking to see if it's gonna, if it's gonna hold. If it breaks below this, it's 911. This may be a good short all the way down. You can see if it's gonna hold this 920 level. So I would be looking at this to see if there's shares to short. Let me look at the 1 year level. If it, it could. Yeah, this thing was at 611. So I mean, I would be looking to see. This thing had 2 big green days. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna put on the watch list, but take a look at that. Oops. EIGR. Sorry, guys. EIGR. There we go. So I would be looking to see, is this stock gonna hold? And I don't know why my color looks so weird. Let me go to appearance. I'm not sure why my color looks like that. Let's do that. Maybe that'll look. I don't know. No, it's still not. I don't know. I'll leave it like this for now. So look to see if it can break below 922. You got a good shot at a nice potential short here. This 922, 921 row. If it breaks below 911, you got the next resistance point down here is like 869. I mean, yeah, you definitely want to be looking for a potential short here. This stock is so overextended. I mean, it may continue to run, but you want to see if it's gonna pull back. So JAGX, nah. Even though this was 50 cents, it's at 70 cents. I've seen this stock move before. If I'm not mistaken, I think I've traded this stock before. Yeah, this is a stock that has popped. I don't know what's going on. Why am I? This thing doesn't look clear to me for some reason. I don't know why. The color, like the red, it's bothering me. It's not looking like it normally should look. I've been messing around with this a little bit. Yeah, it's not like the normal red that unless it's me. I don't know. Let's Doji present color. Is that why it's doing this? Present? No. That's not. That has nothing to do with it. It's weird. Let's do this just for me. Maybe that'll help me. I don't know. And let me go here. Let's do let's fill it. No, maybe that'll help me. Yeah, but yeah, I think it looks a little clearer now. So the stock is if we look at it, it's had this big green day. I don't know if it's going to continue to move, but it's shitty. But maybe you may want to swing trade it. I don't know. You got to look to see. So I'm not putting on my watch list. I'm gonna keep going. DVG is a stock that's traded over 1 million shares. Was choppy. So if you look at it, pretty choppy. I'm not too thrilled with it. So this stock was 130 and it's at 180. So again, you can look to see where it's been. It was at 96 cents and it's been gapping up ever since. I mean, it's pretty wild. It's had a couple of red days, but mostly all these green days, it's dog shit. It's but it's probably a pump, so it may be a great short at some point. But I'm not gonna put it on the watch list. Let's keep moving. AKCA was at 811. It had some volume, 5 million shares traded, which is nice. This is the 50 million shares available to trade. So it was at 8, and then gapped up nicely all the way to 969. Is this a new stock? Yeah, I think this is some new company that's just listed because This was its first, yeah, its first day. So, you know, take a look to see what the company's all about. Maybe it's, you know, worth, you know, taking a sizable position on. I don't know anything about the stock. Let's see, analyze. It's a therapeutics company, so it's new. It's a biotech company. You know, do some work, and maybe it's worth seeing. So we'll see what it does come Monday. FSC. FSC was a stock that, you know, had this crazy rip pre-market all the way up to, you know, 560, and then it sort of kind of like consolidated, and it never broke that. It did break the 560 for a second. It hit a high of what? Oh no, it never did. It hit it hit 560 a couple of times. You notice here. Let's trade. Let's do edit. Since I got this white, let's do this. Yeah, let's just do blue, just for now. So, you know, it hit this 560 level, and then, you know, it just kind of came back down. So, you know, it would have been a great short. If you see it tap, doesn't break, you could take it, you know, you could take a nice short on it, you know. Now, I don't know what's going to do. I mean, look, it has this whole gap to fill. So what I would be looking to see is if there's shares to short first available, right? And if there is shares to short, I would say, okay, this stock is sort of hovering, you know, kind of found its consolidation point here in this 530 range. I'm going to look to see if it breaks below this 530 range. So if you see, you know, it touched 524, but I'm looking to see, you know, I'm like, wait a minute, it's kind of consolidated this whole, man. Sorry about this, guys. I know it. Let's do this. Let's do dark blue. Let's do okay. Let's do, I'll just do save as default and okay. All right. So I'll be looking to see if it's gonna break this 530 range. Now, if it breaks the 530 range, I'll be looking to short it. You know, it may continue to go up. You know, that's when you want to look at to see where the stock's been over the last year. Now, look, it's way above where it normally should be, right? And you know, if you look at the yearly, you know, it kind of filled the gap. You know, so you know, I don't know where, you know, the stock will be. You know, but let's see here. But, you know, I expected to pull back somewhat, a little bit. The heights haven't been at 650, 632. So, yeah, I'll put on the watch list. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. All you need is one trade, one stock to trade. You know, if you have a plan, you see the stock you like, you figure out your attack plan, and then you go get it, you know. So all you need is one play. You know, you don't need to go crazy looking at multiple plays all day. AXN, no. NYBO, this stock was at 17 cents. Now it's at 31 cents. It's a biotech company. So, you know, I don't know anything about, you know, the fundamentals of the company, but this is a company at its height was at 97 cents. Okay. You know, it came crashing back down to the 30-cent range. And, you know, if you noticed, it found 30 cents range, it gapped that down, it came all the way down to about 14 cents, and now it's trying to get to that 34-cent range. And you know, it has a gap to fill. So, you know, this is sort of like its resistance right here is that 34 cent level. So if you can find shares to short, I'd be looking to see if this turd comes back right down. Like, I don't know what it's gonna do Monday. You know, it's held you know, kind of consolidated and held its highs. You know, you may be looking to short it, you know, because it's a little overextended. I'll put on the watch list just for that. You know, most companies, though, it's so hard to find shares to short of these companies, though, that, you know, sometimes not even worth looking at. TMPS, nope. BSTG, nope. CERC, I've traded this several times. You know, 71 cents, and it got up to 106, and then, you know, people shorted it here, and they, you know, and this thing came completely crashing down. Probably, I bet you a lot of shorts were holding this over the weekend, because, you know, it's dog shit. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list. ACRX, nope. GLW, nope. Cara, yeah, Cara is a stock that, you know, it's very volatile. It trades with great range, and you know, right now it's, you know, it seems to have, you know, it's got over the last 5 days it was $11, all right, and you know, it's up back up to $15. If you look at the yearly, you know, this is a stock that we know can move. It's got as high as 28 before that crash came. You know, came all the way back down to 12 because it failed some sort of study. And, you know, it has this gap to fill. If it can get back up to this, you know, $18, $19 range, I mean, there's nothing stopping this from getting back up to the 20+ range. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, definitely looking at this. What I would be looking to see if it's gonna move at the open, and always look at your support and resistance levels to know, where you should be getting in, getting out. FSFR, this is a stock that went from 830 to 893 and consolidate now, and then it's kind of pulled back and it's consolidated this 865 level. Let's see, it was 792 as low over the last 5 days, and if you look over the last year, this is a stock at its height was at $10. So there's nothing stopping the stock from continuing to go upward. It's been kind of gapped up, pulled back from this bull flag, and then it just kind of pushed up. Now maybe it has some more to go. I don't know what the fundamentals are. I'll put on the watch list just because it was volatile. And I'm trying to move faster. I know this. I don't want to make that. I was trying not to make this too long. ENW. Nope. HOS. HOS is a stock that I've traded several times. It's hard to find shares to short of this stock. This is a great stock to short, especially once it gets $3. It always seems to come back down. If you notice, look at that. $3 comes back down, packs up $3. Look at that. I didn't even look at the chart, the yearly chart, and I knew this. Why? Because when you start trading when you trade all the time, all these stocks, you're just gonna start remembering the name, how they move, without even looking at them. You're just gonna know what range they generally trade in. And there's a stock that it always touches that $3 mark and seems to come back down. So that's what you gotta look for. It's at 278. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing continues upward to $3, and guess what? Pulls back hard. So keep it on your watch list. Let's go back 2 days, 1 minute. NEOT, nope. NTNX, this is a stock that pre-market went from 20, hit a high of $22. And look at this. In pre-market, it double topped. And then, with that double top there, you could have took a nice short right even before the market opened. Now this stock was $18, all right, in the last 5 days, and now it's at 22. So I'm gonna put on the watch list because it may be volatile, and I think of other traders too when I create these watch lists, like swing traders and things like that. So you can do your analysis and make your own decisions. Next up is SQNS. Went from $3 to $3.95, came all the way back down $3.66. The stock was $3.05. It's at $3.05. Sorry, I had to take my dog off the bed. Not volatile enough. I'm gonna move on. BDSI, nope. Z, nope. TRTS, nope. PSDV, nope. OZM, nope. I mean, I'm just breezing through these because they're so choppy and just crap. EKSO, what's 201, 245? Man, I don't like it. Where am I? YRD, Yard House, I think this is, right? I'm not sure. Let me see. Oh no, not Yard House. This is Beijing, some Chinese company. It was $25 5 days ago, and it's $30.99. Just for that, I'll put it on the watch list. Now, look to see, maybe it's worth a swing. This is a stock that doesn't have a tremendous amount of volume, but risking even 100 shares, what do you lose by taking a 100 share position on it? Nothing. So you can look to see if it's worth trading. TEUM, nope. OHRP, nah, I don't like it. HEES, no, not enough volume, but it did. Look at this, it just rolled the 13 EMA on the 5-minute chart all the way up. Look at that, nice and easy. This is just VWAP here. I just stripped everything down. I'm basically using indicators on the 5-minute, and I stopped using them on the 1 minute. I'm just using VWAP now, just to focus more on patterns and trend lines. That's I'm just giving that a shot for now. Let's see. This was BETR. Sorry about that. Held the support 960. Was 929. Nah, I don't like it, too choppy. BLRX. Dope. MDXG is a stock that I've traded before. Had this nice pullback, consolidated, and then just kind of ripped all the way up to 15 bucks. It was $14. It's now it's 15. It's just choppy. I mean, I would be looking at it. If we look, let me just do, kind of like bounced and you know, dip below VWAP for a second and then continued upward. You see it, this was its support level right here. So if you notice, why didn't it save? I'm sorry guys, I don't know why this is, it's so weird. Anyway, so you see how the stock, there's another trick for you guys. When a stock has a move at the market open, so you see how it kind of consolidates and it pulls back and then it finds its support level and then has this move up. What you want to do is, and you know, this takes patience, but what you should do is if you see the stock gap up and have a pullback and find a support level, always draw a trend line at the support level going across, because what you want to do is you want to see what it does. You see how it has this double top here? So, you know, gaps up, pulls back, consolidates here, forming a high low, gaps up, and then it kind of, or you know, people take a short, it comes back down. But look what it does. It bounces right off its previous support level. This is where you can take a trade long, using that support level as your stop, as your mental stop. Okay, and you can, you know, ride this up, you know. So trading is all about patterns, you know. It's all about understanding the patterns. It's important to know these things to make your trades, you know, and all you need is one good opportunity. Is this gonna be on my watch list? You know, it's too kind of choppy, you know. I'm not gonna put it on there. OMER, this is a stock that moves. This is a not a low float, but it's one of these stocks that trades with a lot of big range, and when it gaps up a lot, and when it gaps down a lot. This was $19 5 days ago. It's at $21. This is a stock that, you know, I've traded before. You know, this thing's had this monster move. Last time was $15. It went up all the way to $27 before it came back down. Now it's back at 21. It's had 3 green days in a row. Usually the rule of thumb is 3 green days, then you usually get a pullback, a red day. But this market, you just never know. And this stock has a history of just going crazy. And you know, it found its support at $18 and it's been gapping up. I wouldn't be surprised if you see another big run from them. So keep a lookout on OMER. All right. Next up is DYN. DYN had this nice move from $7 all the way to $8.46. You know, it was at 7.31. You know, it's a little choppy, but you know, it does have range. You know, you just gotta be careful when you trade these stocks. You know, because like a stock like this for a day trade is difficult to kind of get a sense of when to take a trade. So, you know, I put stocks like this on my watch list more for swing traders. You know, because, you know, you don't really have a clear entry, and this is a stock that at its height was at $18. It's at $8.24, and you know, if it can break $8.83, there's no reason why I can't get past $9. But you know, for me, you know, I had its first screen day. I don't know. It's choppy. You know, it's very, very choppy, and I wouldn't know where to get a clear entry on a stock like this. So I'm just gonna not put it on the watch list. LCI, nah, BEAT. You know, had this big move up, and this is what I'm talking about. You know, this is a stock in a 30+ range. Normally wouldn't be on my watch list. But I'm starting to look at these stocks because look at this. You know, they have range too. Look, it went from 33 to 34 bucks. All right, and, you know, it's hard to get a sense of, you know, where to take the trade. But even 100 shares, if you can afford 100 shares, you know, you get enough range where you can make some money. I'm gonna put it on the watch. Let me see, is this worth going on the watch list? The question is a little choppy. You know, oops. You know, it's a stock that, you know, it's broken out. I'm sorry, let's go to 1 year. 1 year, you know, it's a stock that, yeah, it's at its sort of all-time high now, you know, and then it kind of pulled back. So I don't know. I mean, the last time it got up that high, you know, it had this crazy collapse. So, you know, look to see what happens with it. I'll put it on there because it has crazy range. We'll see. We'll see if it holds. You know, it's kind of came back down. It closed at 34.40. You know, so it's holding its highs, but we'll see. We'll see. So I'll put that there. NAK. Nope. SGMO is a stock that when it moves, you know, this stock can move too. Nah. RIBT. Nope. AREX. It's a stock I've traded before. Nah. SRG is a stock that, look at this. This went from 43 to 45. Look how on the 5-minute chart it just rides the 13 EMA pretty much all day. and then these are like shorters, just shorten it back down. I'm gonna put it on the watch list, and that's why I'm starting to put some of these bigger price stocks on the watch list, just because they have such great range. ABEO, nah, not enough volume. This thing ripped, had this crazy rip from 12 to 1362, and then it's kind of consolidating and it's bouncing. It was 1241 5 days ago. Is it gonna be on the watch list? I guess is the question. Had 4 million shares traded. We'll look at the 1-year chart. It's it's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green days. I mean, it's right here. So what I would be looking to see is if it touches that 1365 level, sellers are gonna be looking to try to get out, and and I would like to see if it it might pull back, and it might be a great shorting opportunity if it doesn't break it. So we'll see. I'll put it on the watch list. BDC, PIRS. PIRS is the stock just keeps going and going and going. I'll put PIRS on the watch list just because it just keeps going, man. Stock doesn't want to give up. Oops, yeah, it's PIRS. It's a little choppy though. Oh, no, it had no volume, but this stock does not want to give up, man. Every time I think it's done, it just keeps moving. NEFF, nope. NTAP, nope. BRS, nope. And SNRE, nope. This is weird though. In my scanner, you see, I have AA. You have all these stocks that didn't, like AAOI, which I know a lot of people have been trading because it's had a lot of range. Look at this. This stock that went from $77 to $86. Now I don't know why it's not pulling up. It should be here, but I'm gonna put that on the watch list now. You say, damn, but that's a lot of money. Okay, it is a lot of money, right? Let's say you had 100 shares of this and you bought this at the open, hypothetically speaking, and you held through. With 100 share position, you would have made $600 if you held all the way at the top. Obviously, that doesn't happen. Nobody holds like that. But even it has such range. This was $64 5 days ago. Imagine that. So you can't discard these higher price stocks. I'm not doing it no more. I've been missing out because of that. Why? I don't know why it's not pulling up here, but I'm gonna look at it. Why? Another stock. Look at this range, $58 to $64. How can you not look at a stock that has that range? Even 100 shares, if you can afford, even 50 shares, what do you lose? So yeah, that's gonna be on the watch list. Let's see what else. And I did SRG, I think, already, right? SRG, and then I'll cut this off. SRG, yeah, look at this, 43. Yeah, I had this already, so it's already on. All right, so here's my watch list for Thursday. I'll post it to Twitter, and I'll tell Lucian make sure to start posting these too as well on Bullish Bear, so you guys can see these there as well. And then I have my YouTube channel, watchotrade, so you can catch me on there as well. So this is the watch list. I'll make sure to post it. Obviously that's why we have scanners. So if you don't see anything you like, you find something when the market opens. All right. So hope you all have a great weekend. Happy to be back, and take care.